The NHL is horrified of the New Jersey Devils as they are on their longest win streak in over 20 months. The stars are rolling, the penalty kill is fire, new stats creating a clear picture of the New Jersey Devils. Welcome, Devil fans. Glad you're here with the Devils starting off their season. Well, hot would be a word to put to it. Devils' longest winning streak since January 16th of 2023. 4-game win streak, last 2 games at home, including the home opener against the defending Stanley Cup champions, a 3-1 win against Florida, and a 5-3 win against Edmonton recent, who, also was in the Stanley Cup final last year. Look, start to the season for New Jersey. We saw that game in Carolina, and I think people, including myself, weren't very happy with it. I mean, those first 10 minutes, things didn't look really good. Outside of that, the past 4 games, a 4-1 start to the season, the Devils had about an A+ start to this season. I mean, you go ahead and look at just some of the stats the Devils are putting out there right now. Their penalty kill has killed 16 straight, 100%. They've actually outscored teams 2-0. And we saw some of those goals where they were scored. Jesper, Bratt, Tampa Bay, creeping a little bit closer, making a 3-0 game 3-2. Jesper, Bratt kind of, get some insurance. Connor Brown, same thing against his former team, the Edmonton Oilers, put some insurance in the third period. The way that they're winning these games and the stats to back it up, seeing this team and how they are playing right now, I mean, it really has been an A+ start to the season if you get rid of Game 1. And you go ahead, get rid of Game 1. I mean, Game 1 wasn't fun for us to watch. It's the first game of the season. You're going against a Carolina team that definitely made some upgrades in the offseason. You had a tough series against them last year. So go ahead, take it out of the equation. Just go ahead and put these previous 4 games, and I mean, you can see how the Devils have played. Even if games they haven't started completely well. I mean, we know Tampa Bay, it was 3-0. Devils looked great the whole entire night, even in the second period. But you look at the other games. I mean, Columbus, they did score first, but the shots were 18-5. Florida scored early. Edmonton, it took 12 minutes to get a shot on goal. But even when they're in these games, and it hasn't been great starts, they find ways to win. They find ways to get back into the game. And a big reason to that is Bradshaw's penalty kill. Is how the defense has played. Is how Jake Allen has been able to step in there. I mean, we saw what the Devils did during the offseason. It made a lot of sense right now. When you see Jake Allen, probably the top goaltender on the market, and you want to have a good backup, well, it's for reasons like this. When guys like Jacob Markstrom go down or are going to be out for a little bit, you go ahead and you give Jake Allen that 5-year, $1.8 million kind of weird extension. Sometimes you just have to do it. Sometimes you need to know that you have some insurance back there. And what does that cost you? Well, you've gotten 2 wins out of it. Jake Allen has been fantastic for New Jersey. Game in Florida was really good. Game against Edmonton kept them in there early. And when you keep a team like New Jersey in there early, they figure it out. Just like they figured out the power play so far. Everyone kind of saying, maybe power play didn't start off great. Well, they're right back to top 10 in the league. I mean, you look at the Devils special teams from last season, because they finished top 3 in both categories. You knew it was coming. You knew eventually they'd get the power play together. Penalty kills looked awesome so far all season. But power play, maybe a slower start, but they were going to figure it out. They were top 3 in both categories last season. And I know, not a ton of changes during the offseason. Well, maybe you'd kind of think it would kind of stay the same. And we've seen the penalty kill stay in that top 3. New Jersey's power play, top 10 right now. Wouldn't be surprised if you finish the season and they're top 5 again. I mean, you look at the star power on this team. You have a 40-goal scorer. You have a 90-point player. You have multiple guys who have put up point per games in the league. So when you have those type of stats, it's eventually going to break through. You're eventually going to see what you're accustomed to. You saw a top power play last year. You're going to see a top power play this year. And so far this year, special teams have been great. And that's a great idea for where New Jersey is trending. You look at these teams that contend. Obviously, you need to be good 5-on-5. But they call it special teams for a reason. That's how you become a little bit more special. When you can be top 3 in both categories, it really helps your team. Actually, it takes a team that finished 20th in 5-on-5 goal scoring, losing their center, their first-line center, puts them in the playoffs. Because that was New Jersey's situation last year. Injuries happened, 5-on-5 struggled, while the power play penalty kill stayed great. I mean, we saw that first round against Carolina. You had your multiple defensemen leaving, penalty kill, had different personnel, and all of a sudden they struggled on special teams during the playoffs. But during the regular season, they figured out ways and they put themselves in the playoffs with multiple things. I guess unexpected is maybe the word or the way to go with that. But something that's been, I guess, pleasantly unexpected, or something that we maybe didn't see, and this is where I'm going to give credit to Tom Fitzgerald. How good has that second line been? I mean, you could argue right now that second line has been the best line in the league. They're top in expected goals for. They're top in expected goals against. Nico Hischier, Timo Meier, Dawson Mercer have been absolutely fantastic for New Jersey this year. They're all point-per-game players so far. And we came into this year, or came into the offseason and / coming into this year, we maybe kind of wanted the Devils to go, well, we need to add a top 6 forward. It was a shame during the offseason Tom Fitzgerald didn't invest in a top 6 forward. Well, what I will say is this. When you're a general manager, you invest in your ideas, you invest in them early. You try to get that value. And that's kind of what Tom Fitzgerald did. He gave Timo Meier an 8-year extension over $8 million a year because he saw Timo Meier as a 40-goal scorer for what he was. I mean, when you go out, you trade a bunch of assets, you sign him to an 8-year deal, you see him in your top 6. You see Timo Meier, a player like Timo Meier, in your top 6. Same thing with Dawson Mercer, another draft pick of Tom Fitzgerald. You saw his first 2 years. He scored 29 one of those years. He made the team probably a little bit earlier than most of us expected. He made the team before Alexander Holtz did, even going 13 picks later. So you see what they did here, what Tom Fitzgerald did here. He bought into what he thought originally. He felt these were top 6 players. Well, right now, Devils' second line, arguably the most impactful line in the league. I mean, goals for, goals against, they create, they don't let up a ton of chances, and that's what you need. That's what this Devils team needs. Because 5-on-5 last year, there were some struggles. There were some tough times. In the top 6, they didn't get the type of goal support that they needed. Bottom 6 struggled because of it, because you weren't getting the top 6 goal scoring. You weren't going to have a ton of chances to move around in your lineup. There just wasn't the firepower there last season. 5 games through the season, there has been that firepower. I mean, this whole entire forward group to start the year has created goal scoring. They've been in it. They've had their top guys who they've paid go out and be their best players. And that's what the Devils need. They need their top guys to go and be their best players. Look, they're paid to be the best players. They've been great. Jack Hughes seems like the past 2 games is really kind of putting himself into another category. I mean, I already think he's a top 5 player. I guess letting the rest of the league see that he is too. Shame that he hasn't played the type of games that he could have played in the past, 4 or 5 years. But we're seeing it. Jack Hughes has been great. Jesper Bratt scored some big goals. And, all in all, that second line has been absolutely fantastic for New Jersey. Special teams has been great. Top line has been great. And next game against Toronto. Let's get a win there for Sheldon Keefe. Sheldon Keefe going up against his former team in Toronto. And hopefully Devils get a win there. Let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Give a final score prediction. Final score prediction, New Jersey and Toronto. Let me know down in the comments. And I'll see you guys all really soon.